Good evening, everybody. I'm reaching out to you tonight from my home office and doing a little bit different video than I normally do. Typically, of course, I show you guys some sort of piece of automotive shop equipment that we're offering, or show you what's going on with Project Redline, Manova Build, blah blah blah. Right? Well, something a little bit different tonight. I recently had somebody tell me that Ian Gilmore, didn't tell me, but I heard about it, that Ian Gilmore fell into his money. And, when I think of somebody that fell into their money, I think about a son or a daughter whose dad was, some great big wig CEO at a company. And, they just basically walked right into the company from day one and were given a manager's position and, a pay rate that was ridiculous that they didn't really deserve. And that could be farther from the truth in the case of Redline. When I heard that, I was thinking about that this evening. I was thinking to myself that, all of my videos kind of fit this typical norm narrative where I don't really share anything really, frankly, about me and Redline in terms of the history of the company. I don't really do Facebook or any of those social media outlets. I'm not really a social media kind of guy. So I wanted to kind of just step back for a second and tell everybody on my YouTube channel, all whopping 10,700 of you guys, how in the world I got to this point with Redline. So I'm going to kind of rewind for just a second and tell you about Redline, how it began, how I made it to this point, and how I have had anything but this company handed to me. So let's talk about it. Okay, so sophomore year in college, Christian Brothers University. I was riding a 2001 Yamaha R6, and I wanted to powder coat my wheels white. I wanted to polish the outside edges of my wheels, something a little different than everybody else was doing. And I wanted to get a set of motorcycle stands to pick the bike up off the ground because, of course, if you want to raise a motorcycle up, right, it's not like a car. You don't just put a jack underneath it. The damn thing would just fall right over. So I needed a set of motorcycle stands to pick my Yamaha up off the ground. At the time, I was running a little street rod shop where I was doing knick-knack kind of work to people's hot rods and their muscle cars. Didn't really know what I was doing, but I enjoyed it and I was trying to make money at it, and I wasn't very good at it. So I had this motorcycle and I wanted to do the wheels. I knew that I had to have some sort of a motorcycle stand to pick the motorcycle up off the ground so I could pull the wheels off of it, and do this work to the wheels. I looked into it. I found this company called Pit Bull, and they made really good quality motorcycle stands, but they were not cheap. They were like $130 a piece, something like that. And I didn't have $130 a piece. I was struggling to make the rent. I think my rent was like $375 a month. It was a 1,000 square foot facility on Industrial Drive in Olive Branch, Mississippi. And that $375 a month might as well have been $10,000 because I was having a hard time making the rent, okay? So anyways, I wanted to do these wheels, and I decided probably my best option was to make a set of motorcycle stands. It just looked so simple, right? Everything was so easy. It was just a couple pieces of tubing, weld them together, pick the bike up right, and I was good to go. So I made a set of these stands, and they worked really, really well. I mean, picked the bike up right, pulled the wheels off. Everything went exactly as it was supposed to, and I thought, okay, well, business is slow. I'm having a hard time, making the rent. I want to put these things onto eBay and just kind of see what happens, right? So I thought, well, if somebody buys them, I'll make them a set, I'll ship them my set, I'll make me another set, pocket an extra 50 to 100 bucks. So I make a set of these motorcycle stands, I put them on eBay, and within 3-4 days, I sell a set of them. They were, I don't know, $250 for a pair, something like that. Well, back at that time, $250 to me was a shitload of money. I didn't just have $250 just laying around, right? So I sold my first set of stands and I thought, well, this is pretty remarkable. Okay, well, great, you know? So I shipped that guy out his motorcycle stands. I made another set of stands, immediately posted another pair of them on eBay. Damned if they didn't sell too. And so in that first month that I posted these sport bike motorcycle stands onto eBay, I don't know, maybe I sold, I don't know, 3, maybe 4 pairs. And so the next month I might have sold, I don't know, 5 or 6 pairs, okay? And I can actually remember going into the post office in Olive Branch, Mississippi to mail out my motorcycle stands that I had just sold to some guy on eBay, who knows, you know. And the lady behind the counter, she was just kind of shaking her head and she said, "You're gonna be a millionaire someday." When she said that to me, I didn't realize that she saw something that I didn't see, that I had started a business, that things were moving off. I was seeing this lady over and over and over again, you know, selling motorcycle stands, and I didn't really think anything of it. I just thought, well, you know, this pays for the weekend's beer and condom money at the time, and it was more than that, and I didn't really know that. So as I began to sell these motorcycle stands, I started selling so many of them that people started telling me, you know, "Ian, you need a website. I don't want to have to call you to order these things. You need to be able to post them to a website." So I did exactly that. I built redlinestands.com, and I started selling these motorcycle stands on there where people could order these things, you know, anytime, whatever. And everything went really, really well. And I can still remember to this day, sophomore year in college, which would have been 2004, I made $64,700 working part-time making motorcycle stands in college. So everything was going fantastic, right? I was selling motorcycle stands. I graduated with a mechanical engineering degree from Christian Brothers University in 2005. I bought a house in Senatobia, Mississippi. I built a shop out back behind the house. It was 30 by 40, and I started making motorcycle stands from behind my house. So everything was going good. And then the market collapse hit in, I don't know, 06, 07, somewhere in there, right? That market collapse was a lot bigger deal than I realized it was going to be. I went from making $65,000 a year on motorcycle stands down to $38,000, maybe $40,000 a year making motorcycle stands. But naturally, I still had my $1,000 a month mortgage making those damn motorcycle stands in the shop behind my house, right? So things were not going that well, you know. I can still remember to this day walking into the Walmart in Senatobia, Mississippi on Northfleet Drive, you know, and I went in there and I did my shopping every Sunday for my groceries. And I can remember going in there and just standing on the aisle and, you know, I was looking at all of the groceries, and I don't remember what my budget was, but it wasn't enough. It damn sure wasn't enough. I didn't have enough money to get the groceries that I knew that I needed for the next week. So, I mean, it was tough. You know, there's no way about it. It was just, it fucking sucked. Fast forward a little bit, I scraped and I scraped and I watched every penny. I drove a pickup truck without insurance. I said the hell with life and health insurance. If it was not absolutely mandatory to living, I went without it. So in about, I don't know, maybe it was 2008, 2009. I'd just gotten married. I went to my wife and I said, honey, you know, I want to do something kind of crazy here. I want to take out a home equity line of credit, and whatever money I could get my hands on, I want to take out a home equity line of credit, and I want to take out a business line of credit. I want to extend the shop off the back of it another 70 feet. I want to find a supplier that can give us all of the new products that I can't make. You know, sales were down. They were not doing good. I was making way less on motorcycle stands. You know, I was not doing well at all. But I was beginning to notice that some of the other products that I had added to my website were starting to take off, right? So I told my wife, I said, okay, I want to extend the shop. I want to get in all of these products that customers are requesting. Motorcycle lifting tables, tire changers, everything in the world, right? That's exactly what I did. I bet it all. I mean, I bet it all and then some. Every dollar I had, every dollar I could borrow, every dollar that my house was worth, I bet it all. Somebody told me that 50 Cent's debut album was called Get Rich or Die Trying. And if that wasn't what I was out to do, I don't know what the hell it was. So, I did exactly that. She was worried. She was like, I don't know, Ian, you know, it's all too risky. The business is not doing that well. A buddy of mine named Buster told me, he said, Ian, fortune favors the bold. And he was exactly right. I was ready to do one of two things. I was either going to get rich or I was going to go home and go back to my bedroom at Plantation Lakes Drive in Olive Branch, Mississippi. One of the two was going to happen, but something big was going to happen. Things were going to change. That's exactly what I did. I hired my uncle. He was fresh out of prison, couldn't get work. He came over to the house and helped me extend the shop out of the back. I ordered in all this new product, and I started selling. We started offering everything that there was: motorcycle stands, lifts, car lifts, tire changers, wheel balancers. The list just goes on and on. Everything got to the point to where I was not able to fill all the orders. I couldn't answer the telephones, which is really funny that I couldn't answer the telephones. Let me tell you why that was so funny, that I couldn't answer the telephones. Just a few years earlier, I had made the telephone number for redlinestands.com a 24-hour number, okay? And people would call me up, 2008 or so, and business was so damn bad that if they called me up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and they wanted a motorcycle stand, if I was sleeping at 2 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday night, somebody called me up about a motorcycle stand, here's what I would do, okay? I would wake up and I would realize what was happening. I would pick up my phone, and before I answered my phone, I would go, Redline, 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 Redline. And then after I had my voice sounded, you know, to the point where I was actually awake like a professional at a desk, then I would hit the number and go, Redline, what can I do for you? Ah, yes, a motorcycle stand. We've got those in stock. Yes, sir. Right? Wow, how things had changed, where I had gone from answering my phone at 2 o'clock in the morning, literally jumping out of the shower on several occasions naked to go, yes, this is Ian with Redline. We've got the commercial stands in stock with spool feed adapters, sir. What can I do for you? That happened. It happened on dozens of occasions. We had gone from that to, I can't even answer the phone for every time that the damn thing is ringing, right? So I hired my brother, Dustin Gilmore. Thank you to my brother. He has been, he's been my partner in crime. Thanks to Dustin Gilmore. My brother Dustin, he comes on board at Redline. We start working from my house. I'm in here on the phone. He's out there driving the skid steer literally down the driveway, loading motorcycle lifts on the truck. Business gets better, it gets better. we buy a 43,000 square foot warehouse in Como, Mississippi. God, what a shithole. I mean, just a remarkable shithole. But it was a giant old building with a roof over it, and it did the job. We moved in there. We started getting in more and more and more containers and, more truckloads. We hired our first guy outside of the family, Jason King. He's our warehouse manager today, still with us. And the business grew, and the business grew, and it grew. And today, I think we've got 11, 12 employees. We've got 3 warehouses. We do about $600,000 a month in business, and we're not hurting. So, full tilt, full circle. At the end of the day, I want you to know a couple things. Number one, no business that starts from anything and ends up at really, really something is handed to anybody. Be ready to scratch, be ready to claw, mortgage your house, answer the phone at 2 o'clock in the morning, jump out of the shower naked to answer that telephone. If you want that, and you want to really create something, be ready to do whatever it takes. And the other thing I'll say, to the person who said that, Ian Gilmore just kind of fell onto his money, you go to hell. You go straight to hell. I don't give a damn what you think. I hope after this video, you guys know me a little bit more. Maybe in the comments, I'll get to know my followers and everybody who watches these videos a little bit more. I hope you guys enjoy this. I appreciate you guys. I don't say this enough on my YouTube channel videos. I appreciate you guys. It really makes me feel validated and appreciated when I see my subscribers keep ticking up and up and up. And I love to see that stuff. I'm glad that all of the videos that I make for you guys are not in vain, that you're enjoying them. God forbid, hopefully you're learning something. I appreciate you guys. Have a great night.